which?
I gotta exercise the option.
Listen, man, I'm just telling you what the feel at that moment. I'm not saying they were better producers than Primo because they weren't. But I'm just saying '96 when I thought about to me, what my song that stood out was from Trackmasters.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, we look at fast forward now 2015. Nobody looking for a Trackmaster. You still gonna look for a Primo. You still look for Avid or something like that. But at that time, that moment, I think it was just at that moment. That moment in time, like you were in the moment. They were the in the moment producers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, they out of here, bro. Who
Man.
who replaced the Trackmasters for you?
That's hostility.
Oh man, I don't even mean to put him in at number 3, but Primo.
Okay.
Primo was great. He run laps around there. I forgot about him.
Of course.
How did I forget that?
Of course. We slide.
I feel hostility in the air.
Hey, I'm gonna start being subjective. I'm gonna give y'all respect.
Yeah, you said too much homage. I'm like,
I'm gonna let y'all have y'all
Crazy
give y'all
year,
props.
Trackmaster.
that's what I'm saying. But you
Nah,
can't
you
deny
think-
what they did.
Yeah, I mean it goes back to like it was like a mixed year. Like
Yeah.
you had polished
Yeah.
commercial type rap, and you really had hardcore gritty rap.
Yeah.
It was all on the radio too, right?
Yeah, and it all was on the radio. All right, so we'll slide to. I want to do MCs. Yeah, we'll slide to albums. We'll go to best
Yeah,
albums.
'cause at least I have the albums in my head.
All right, and
But it's 4 albums, right?
yeah, so we're gonna do 4 albums just because it was kind of hard. So Armand, we'll go with your number 4.
Yo, mine. Listen, you gotta have an asterisk next to mine because mine not in no order.
Okay.
I'm just naming my top 4 albums
wait a
that year,
minute.
but I can't put them in order. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yes, you
hey,
can.
that's kind of part of the criteria, though, man.
It don't work that way.
Hey, listen, for the listeners, man, I'm rattling off, but I'm just saying them, but I'm not saying in no particular order, man. I'm gonna give you the 4th draw, and that's Hell on Earth. When they came out with Hell on Earth, everybody thought Mobb Deep Infamous was such a classic, but when you listen to it, Hell on Earth was equally a classic, especially my favorite drawing was when it came at Pac, Drop a Gem on it.
Oof.
That's classic right now.
Mean.
You know what I mean? So Hell on Earth was like, we was not, you know how he's going to Hunt Sherman, he used to make the beats on the table and everything, you recite the rhymes and everything. Like, it was good, man. That was a good time.
Hell on Earth.
Hell on Earth.
Oh, for me, number 4 is Ghostface. That's Iron Man. Like, you can't. It's hard to put him at 4, but that album was a classic album. Like, I don't like to throw the word classic around, but that was a classic album.
That's
That was number 4.
That was classic. It was.
Right, and that's your 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghostface was crazy. My number 4 album, I had to switch it around. So my number 4 was Muddy Waters, Redman. Redman, and I talked about Redman in the '98 edition. I was real fond of him. Like at that particular time, he kind of just had like if you want to track Ludacris and Eminem, their style started at Muddy Waters, Redman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's the lineage to their style.
Yeah, easily.
You know what I mean? And for the millennials out there, check out BET Cypher this year if you don't know who Redman is. If you don't really know how Redman gets down. And that's this year. So, Muddy Waters is my number 4.
Album dropped today.
Yeah.
My number 4, I'm going with All Eyes on Me for Pac.
It's too low.
My list is probably gonna mess with you guys again. Listen,
Hey, I'm shut up.
there was different reasons why I don't like ranking, but it probably changed tomorrow. But right now, I'm putting All Eyes on Me, and like I said, it's kind of low, but
It's all.
Yeah.
but they're all classics. I mean,
Objective,
it's all classics. But I mean, the body of work in general, and it's funny because speaking of Redman, I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about the cut they did, and that was originally a Daz Dillinger cut, but Pac took it.
Yeah.
But he was talking about he's like, we didn't even know we were on Pac's album until we heard All Eyes on Me.
Right. They was Pac was giving the royal treatment. California Love was Dre's supposed to be Dre's song.
Yeah, exactly. Pac does bully everybody, but I'm gonna rock with Pac in the 4th spot there.
We're gonna slide number 3 for you.
Number 3, it's a tough one right here, but I'm gonna have to go with a fellow QB, Q QB brother, and that's no. Matter of fact, I ain't giving it to him. I go Reasonable Doubt. I go to Jay. I can't put Jay in front of Esco, so I'm gonna go to Jay for Reasonable Doubt.
Okay. Yeah.
That was like another. That was a slept on album though. People, a lot of people running around saying, "Yo, I was a Jay-Z fan." No, they wasn't. Back then, that thing barely went gold.
Right.
You know what I mean? People really got on it later on because people were so focused on Biggie.
Right.
You know, and they didn't really, understand. But
And now.
Jay was that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jay was that ball man back then.
Yeah, Jay said it in his rhymes. They didn't really appreciate it. The second one came
Yo,
out.
4 ain't enough, man.
Yeah, I know, man. We be here all night, bro.
Yeah, we could do 4 for like 2009. 96, you got like 7.
I fought for it, but I was denied.
Right. We could do like closing thoughts. We can add some other stuff in there.
Yeah.
What about you,
for
Blake?
me,
Yeah.
I gotta say why I picked this at 3. Me being from the Caribbean and all, like there's never been a hip hop album that embraced like Caribbean culture and hip hop culture in one. So the score, when I heard that,
Man,
I
you
was
ain't got to
just there,
explain
like,
something on
I was
that.
just there like, hey, 2 dudes rap, and then Lauryn Hill just come out of nowhere and just every verse she was on that album, she killed.
Yeah.
I had to rewind some of her verses. Like, yo, to this day, I'm still rewinding that. Like,
No explanation needed, man.
I had to put that at 3.
That's a classic. And I feel like that album is probably better than a lot of my albums on my list as a whole.
Yeah.
But I kind of had to just go with like what I was actually doing, what I was listening to, and my thoughts. But the score is definitely, man. You ain't gotta explain that. Monster album. So what we on? We on number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah, I gotta throw some love to the home team, man. Philadelphia, Half-Life, Roots. You know what I mean? I gotta put them in there. Black Thought, Malik B, Questlove. Like when these brothers, when they say, West Oak Lane, when they shout out certain places in the city, it's just like it's like nothing comes better than that. You know what I mean?
True.
It's like you just feel like you don't even feel like they from Philly really. It's just like dang, like it's such an honor when you hear Black Thought says 2 on 5 probably 70 times a year in his songs. You know what I mean? He's Philly representative, and it's just an honor.
He rep Philly harder than
Anybody. It's just an honor when you hear that name, and I'm listening to their music, and every single song, like from front to back. I mean, a lot of people think "Do You Want More" is their best album, but I think this Philadelphia Half-Life is definitely a classic.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Armand, like you said, like it's kind of like they Hell on Earth.
Yeah, that joint was classic. That's why I said the big beats, man. Like you took one of my joints.
What about you, though?
Yeah, I also did Reasonable Doubt for my 3rd one. Very slept on album. Jay was very under the radar, but to see what he was on, like lyrically, can't deny it. Definitely can't deny it on there. I mean, big shadow at that time, but he held his own, definitely.
Yeah. So we swing it back to Armand. So we're gonna do number 2 for you, which is your order is kind of wacky, but
man, I'm going to go with.
Well, you live now, man. So everything you say is testimony. So it's we ranking you.
Listen, man.
It's on the record.
It's crazy that you got 4. All right, I'm gonna go with Nas. It was written. When that whole album to me, he got developed so much on that album compared to Illmatic. Everybody think Illmatic the classic, but he lyrically got better on It Was Written.
I agree.
Especially with all that stuff, live nigga rap. Affirmative action. Not affirmative action. There's one about the gun.
I gave you
Power.
That was New York State of Mind Part 2.
Primo beat.
And he
Primo
done
Yeah, no doubt. What's your number 2?
Oh, Reasonable Doubt. Like, I got put on for my brother for Reasonable Doubt. Like, Brooklyn's finest. That's all I gotta say on that joint. Like, that was just 2 MCs going, and that whole album was just crazy. Like, everybody says Jay best album. I think that might be Jay's best album. Like all honesty, like
I think it is.
yeah, that and Blueprint, but it's a tie. It can go either way, but that album was crazy.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about that.
Yeah. Clark Kent was a good. I mean, he's underrated too.
Yeah, he's underrated.
Really
Right?
underrated on that album.
Yeah.
So we on 2. I gotta go with Hell on Earth, man. I gotta go with Hell on Earth, Mobb Deep. That album to me, like you said, Armand, the Infamous is like their Illmatic. You know what I mean? Like that album was crazy. But Hell on Earth, Havoc's production got better. You know, Prodigy's wordplay got better. And the whole album is like a cinematic, evil movie that depicts, like, you can hear Queensbridge in that album. It's so, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he's doing a score. How the production is, and that's why he was number 3 for me. With only doing that one album and maybe a couple of songs for other people. But yeah, Hell on Earth, man. And you know, and I get on my Mobb Deep. I'm gonna wait on my Mobb Deep rant. You know what I mean? Spoiler alert. But Hell on Earth, yeah.
My number 2, I'm going with Muddy Waters. On my number 2, Redman. To me, it was just like, he's a rapper's rapper. You know what I mean? I think when you look at, especially that album, I think you saw, a shift with him in the sense that, yeah, I'm from the streets of Newark, but I'm just gonna rap about whatever I want to rap about this time. I'm not gonna talk about I need to be ultra gangster or ultra hardcore.
Humor.
You know what I mean? So he was himself, and it's funny because I remember even Biggie was saying at the time he didn't like Redman no more because he was becoming quote unquote weird. At that time, now would just be your typical rapper. You know what I mean? Right. He was like, yeah, he showed his weed head side, he showed his more comical side, where you saw branch off with Eminem, which is funny is because I didn't even realize until the Breakfast Club interview that Eminem's Superman song was a playoff of the Superman series.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Eminem even going as far as saying that Redman is his personal favorite rapper of all time.
Yeah.
You know, and just seeing the consistency with him, especially with that album, to me was just phenomenal. You know what I mean? It was just like, I'm just going to rap. You know what I mean? I'm not going to follow no format. Because you think about Redman's career overall, he never had that real big signal to say, okay, that they're going to play, but you can't say you really heard a really terrible track from him neither. You know what I mean? He was always consistent, to this day.
Right. Yeah, I had the tape when that came out.
Yeah.
Muddy Waters. All right, man. What's your number 1, Armand?
I want to give a shout out to the whole motherfucking MOP boy, Iron Squad. I played football in high school, so I listened to that. We gonna knock somebody's head off. So that was like, that underground craziness. And it's funny that the brother said that his brother put him on, but I think all of us can attest that if you know hip hop, we owe our brothers or some older person, because I knew all of this stuff because of my older brother and my older cousins.
Absolutely.
And so every time I see a young boy when I'm teaching, and he know about something, I'm like, yo, you got an older brother, don't you? They be like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I know you do, because I think all of our older brothers put us on to this music.
Right.
But MOB for me, Firing Squad, the rip.
Man, that album's incredible. I was listening to that today. Man, that Downtown Swinger. Oh my gosh. Jeez.
19 years later, you still banging.
Still banging. About you, Blake?
Oh, it was written.
Number 1?
Yeah, number 1, Black Girl Laws. You heard that track? I gave you power. I'm still like, this dude's creative.
I knew it was going to be on there for you. I just didn't know where, though.
Yeah, that and Trackmaster most of the beats.
Exactly.
You don't want to do this, but you don't want to go to war, man. You don't got more bullets.
Well, we're not saying you don't have more bullets, but we say that year, though.
The remix, the Street Dreams with R. Kelly, and I heard that and like, that was a
catalog wise, there's no comparison, but that year, Trackmasters, yeah.
That year had to be a dream for me, though.
Yeah, for me, man, PAC, man, gotta go Tupac. All Eyes on Me. It's kind of unfair because it's a double disc, but that's that's just how it played out for him that year. And he also, and he Machiavelli came out that